Welcome back, story lovers. Today, we're journeying to a place bathed in golden sunlight, a magical place called Rancho Blanco. Our story begins with a girl named La, whose heart was as bright as her sunny yellow dress. She had been dreaming of this day for weeks, the day she would finally visit her grandparents at the beautiful Rancho Blanco. The car ride felt like it took forever, but finally, the bumpy dirt road gave way to a charming white fence, and beyond it, a world of green pastures and happy animal sounds. As Ella stepped out of the car, a gentle giant trotted over to greet her. This was Bento, a magnificent horse with a coat the color of rich chocolate and a mane as soft as silk. Bento nudged Ella's hand with his velvety nose, as if to say, "Welcome, friend." Ella giggled, her heart filled with pure joy. She had always loved animals, and being here, surrounded by them, felt like stepping into a dream. Her grandparents welcomed her with warm hugs and freshly baked cookies that smelled of cinnamon and love. "Go on, explore," her grandma said with a smile. "The ranch is your playground today." Ella didn't need to be told twice. She ran through the tall grass, her laughter echoing in the clear country air. She said hello to the fluffy white sheep, watched the plump chickens peck at the ground, and even tried to have a conversation with a very serious-looking cow. She felt a special connection to this place, a feeling of belonging that warmed her from the inside out. As she wandered towards the old wooden barn, something caught her eye. Half hidden in the hay, a glint of light shimmered and pulsed with a soft, magical glow. Ella knelt down, her curiosity sparked. She brushed away the straw and gasped. It was a horseshoe, but not just any horseshoe. This one was made of something that looked like crystallized moonlight, and it hummed with a gentle, enchanting energy. Carefully, she picked it up. The moment her fingers touched the cool, smooth surface, a warm tingle spread up her arm. The air around her seemed to vibrate, and then she heard a voice. A deep, friendly voice that seemed to come from right beside her. "Well, hello there, little one. It's about time someone found that old thing." Ella looked around, confused. There was no one there except for Bento, the horse. He was looking right at her, a knowing twinkle in his big, brown eyes. Ella's own eyes widened in disbelief. "Bento, did you just talk?" Bento let out a soft chuckle, a sound like rustling leaves. "Of course, I did, thanks to that lucky charm you're holding. It's been a while since we have been able to have a proper chat with the Telegers." Ella stared at the glowing horseshoe in her hand, then back at Bento. It was real. The horseshoe was magic, and it allowed her to understand the animals. This was more wonderful than anything she could have ever imagined. She was so excited, she felt like she could float right off the ground. Just then, a mischievous bleat interrupted them. A small, energetic goat with a coat like popcorn bounced over. "Ooh, is that the talking shoe? Pipika wants to talk. Pipika wants to talk," the goat exclaimed, her little tail wagging furiously. Ella laughed. "Hello, Pipika. Yes, I can understand you." Pipika, thrilled to be understood, began to share all her thoughts at once. She talked about the tastiest patch of clover, the best spots for a midday nap, and her grand plan to organize a parade. "A parade?" Ella asked, her imagination instantly captured by the idea. "Yes, a grand parade," Pipika declared, "to celebrate the sun, the grass, and our new talking friend." Bento nodded in agreement. "That sounds like a splendid idea, Pipika, and I think we have just the right parade leader." He looked pointedly at Ella. Ella's heart fluttered with excitement. "Me? You want me to lead the parade? Who else?" Bento said warmly. "You're the one who brought the magic back." And so, the great Rancho Blanco parade began. Ella, holding the magical horseshoe high like a conductor's baton, proudly led the way. Behind her marched a joyful procession of farm animals. Pipika the goat pranced at the front, her little hooves kicking up dust. Bento followed with a stately, dignified walk, his head held high. Soon, others joined in. A family of ducks waddled behind, quacking a cheerful rhythm. The fluffy sheep formed a woolly, white cloud, bang along in a happy chorus. Even the chickens, usually busy with their pecking, strutted in line, clucking with importance. It was a beautiful, chaotic, and utterly wonderful sight. Ella led her new friends all around the ranch. They paraded past the pond, where the frogs croaked their encouragement. They marched through the apple orchard, their procession a rainbow of colors against the green leaves. La talked and laughed with each of them, learning their names, their favorite games, and their secret dreams. She discovered that Felipa the cow loved to stargaze, and that the rooster, Frederico, secretly wished he could sing love songs instead of just crowing at dawn. They were more than just animals. They were individuals with personalities, feelings, and stories. The magical horseshoe hadn't just given them a voice. It had opened a window into their world, and La felt incredibly privileged to be a part of it. The sun began to dip towards the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant shades of orange, pink, and purple. A beautiful, golden light washed over the ranch, making everything look even more magical. As the last rays of sunlight faded, La noticed the glow from the horseshoe was getting dimmer. The voices of her friends began to sound faint, like whispers on the wind. Pipika's excited chatter turned back into simple bleats, and Bento's wise words became a soft, familiar nicker. The magic was fading with the setting sun. A wave of sadness washed over La. She didn't want it to end. She looked at the horseshoe, now just a beautiful but ordinary object in her hand. She looked at her friends, who were now quietly settling down for the night. Bento nudged her gently one last time, his eyes still holding that special, knowing look. He couldn't speak anymore, but La understood. The look said, "Thank you." La carefully placed the horseshoe back in the hay, right where she had found it, ready for the next lucky visitor or the next magical day. As her grandparents called her in for dinner, she turned to her animal friends. "I'll be back," she whispered, a promise from her heart. "I'll be back soon." Even though she couldn't hear their words, she could feel their response in the peaceful evening air. She knew this wasn't a goodbye, but a see you later. The magic of Rancho Blanco wasn't just in the glowing horseshoe. It was in the connection she had made, a friendship that didn't need words to be understood. And La knew, with absolute certainty, that she would carry that magic with her always. What an incredible adventure! It just goes to show that magic can be found in the most unexpected places, and true friendship speaks a language all its own.